All I want to do is serve. All I want to do is give. All I really want to do is help other people. That's why I got into pharmacy. That's outstanding. And it's absolutely true that the secret to living is giving. However, if you give to the point where you have nothing left to give, you'll have nothing left to give. If you deflect taking care of yourself because you think it's selfish, you may have fallen into the pharmacist trap that ensnares some of the kindest and most loving souls in our profession. The giver's trap. Wait, but Adam, you said that giving is good. You said yourself that the secret to living is giving, and I want to live a full and happy life. Even in the Bible, it clearly says it's more blessed to give than receive, as it says in Acts 20:35. So how could giving be labeled as a trap? While I know you agree that giving is good, I mean, that's common sense. While I know you agree that helping others is a main reason that you chose to be a pharmacist in the first place, I also know that deep down, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You hear it everywhere. You may even feel it yourself. The disempowering words that many pharmacists use to describe their jobs, their quality of life, and just the state of pharmacy. Burnout, stress, overwhelm, resentment. I didn't even go to school for this. This isn't what I signed up for. And on and on and on. Now, do not hear what I'm not saying. This by no means is the sole source responsible for all the problems and all the emotional states I just described, because there's lots of contributing factors at play, many of which fall into the category of uncontrollables. Things like working conditions, staffing, budget cuts, increasing work demands, COVID, the repercussions of COVID, vaccinations, and on and on and on. Again, if you're currently struggling with your work life, I ain't saying that the giver's trap is the one and only root cause. There's also a category of contributing factors of which we can control. And let's call those the controllables. Now, it might seem like they're not in your control, but I'm going to dispense some real talk that's going to be offensive to some people. So I'm going to just drop a disclaimer real quick and let you know that what I'm about to say is not meant to judge or condemn you or make you feel like a failure by any means. It's not meant to minimize how difficult situations are, have been, and continue to increase and be. It's not to make what you're doing wrong, but it's the truth. And the truth can set you free. You have a choice. Hello? Choosing not to work out because you're working a double shift is a choice. Hello? Choosing to let your nutrition slide and making less than ideal decisions about eating over and over again consistently day to day because you have too much going on at home is a choice. I am trying to tell you something very simple, that while it's extremely difficult, while you've got not only pharmacy life, but home life to juggle, and all those layers, it may seem like there is no choice, but there is. This lack of practicality, let alone someone trying to tell you that you gotta work out 2 hours a day, 9 days a week, that ain't gonna happen. This lack of practicality was one of the most common frustrations that I heard from pharmacists over and over who, no BS, are genuinely trying. They want to improve their health. They want to stop giving to the point where they have nothing left to give. They want to manage stress. They want to make their health a priority. But the routes that they attempted were so unrealistic that sticking to them was not even a reality. So it led me to realize that this cycle, this trap, was such a predicament for pharmacists who were so much more qualified than me, by the way, but because they didn't find a way from a pharmacist working in the trenches to actually give advice that works, it led me to take action and write my first book, RxU, the Pharmacist Survival Guide for Managing Stress and Fitting in Fitness. It's a quick read. You can get it on Amazon or for Kindle because I know time is of the essence and you need to know what actually works so that you can work it for your own life. In your career, there are potentially millions of prescriptions that you'll fill. But the most important script, the most essential Rx that fuels the rest that follow is you. That's why I titled it RxU. I created this and I really believe in this because this has literally helped thousands of pharmacists across the world to overcome these barriers of living a healthy life, of practicing in integrity and being an example of health. Despite the challenges, so again, not to minimize them, but this is filled with simple, practical things you can do to make it work by meeting yourself where you are and working with what you got. To escape the giver's trap and ensure you don't try to pour from an empty cup and burn yourself out like everybody else you see on social, Facebook groups, you know what I'm talking about. You're going to need 3 key ingredients to flip your script from I don't have time, I'm overstressed, into making progress. Not living a perfect life, not this work-life balance crap, and that's a whole other thing, but working and living in tandem. Work-life integration as a solid unit, as an individual that you are, rather than trying to split your life into 2 categories, which is part of the reason that this is such a problem, and part of where I get real fired up, as you can probably tell by my voice. The first example has to do with creativity. So it might require some extremely creative techniques to fit in your fitness, your nutrition, your mental health. So I'm gonna give you some quick tips that you can actually apply for your busy pharmacist life, because I get it, about a decade in full time, right? So, an example, if you feel like you don't have a choice to eat healthy because you work a 13-hour plus shift with no lunch break, like I do, you may find the option to make a shake, like a drink shake, so that at the very least, you can get some quality nutrients in you while you're waiting on hold on the phone, in between filling prescriptions piling up, before you go to give your 30th vaccination before the sun has even started to set. And this ain't hyperbole. Y'all know this is the tip of the real life we live. Second example, it may require your change, your progress to living a healthy life, to filling yourself up and not getting trapped by give, and not taking care of yourself. It may require some innovative planning. Here's what I mean about this. If you feel, let's talk about fitness real quick. If you feel like there's no way possible to fit in a workout, and by the time you get home after working your shift at Club Pharmacy, you're too exhausted to even change into workout clothes, here's what you do. You pack your gym bag in your car so you can head straight from work to the park or gym or cycle class or wherever you get your fitness on. Now, this might seem a little obsessive at first, but you know what happens. As soon as you get home after working a shift at Club Pharmacy and sit down to just take your shoes off, there's some type of like mystical, unexplainable energy suck that happens as soon as your butt hits the chair, like someone hit the dimming switch on your motivation and good intentions. You plan ahead and pack your bag because you are committed to find a way. So you work with what you've got by meeting yourself where you are. Now, The third example, I talked about the 3 C's. Third one being cause. And I saved the best for last. Because when it comes to your mental health, it may require you to schedule that mental health time just like you would a doctor's appointment and protect it well in advance. Because you know that the day gets away from us. All the distractions, all the things that seem urgent and important at the same time creep in, and before you know it, it's past bedtime and we're farther behind than when we started to make our list. And guess what gets put on the back burner? Exactly. And now you start to see why stress, left untamed, turns into overwhelm, which left untamed can lead to burnout and all these other things. But not you, because you're going to take this advice, because you have cause. Whether it's time with yourself in nature, quality time with your spouse, or being fully present in a relaxation technique like a meditation or a massage. Whatever works for you as the most effective method is what you need to make your priority. And with that being said, here is the key takeaway that I need you to not only understand Fit Pharm Fam, but to put into practice, because your pharmacy practice depends on it. Your sanity depends on it. Your level of fulfillment depends on it. Your career success depends on it. The success of your personal brand growth and development depends on it. Your family depends on it. Your friends depend on it. You must listen to this, because it's one of the biggest truths that's missed by pharmacists. And the ones that are succeeding, the ones you get inspired by, the ones you want to mentor you, understand this one takeaway. And I'm sharing it with you so that you can put it into practice in your own life too. Here it is. If you talk about it, it's a dream. If you envision it, it's possible. But if you schedule it, it's real. Wise words from the great Tony Robbins, and how completely true is that statement. When you began pharmacy school, when you got your first white coat, when you became a pharmacist, you took an oath, the oath of a pharmacist, which includes, and I quote, "I will consider the welfare of humanity and relief of suffering my primary concern," end quote. You may have thought that that was only directed towards other people, but in reality, it also includes you. You can't pour from an empty cup. And while giving is great and a noble cause, you need to realize a very important truth. You cannot give what you do not have. You need to fill yourself up and give out from the overflow. It's an abundant life, and you deserve to live it fully and abundantly so that your colleagues, your patients, your friends, and family can enjoy the best version of you. If you've been listening to this podcast and you've been a long-time subscriber, I just want to take a moment and say thank you. Seriously, all of this content I create is to help you dispense your full potential by breaking through the most common barriers we face as pharmacists. And I know I'm preaching to the choir when I say that there's no shortage of barriers. When I graduated pharmacy school, I had the opportunity to meet people that just blew me away with their talents, their intelligence. But what I started to recognize is that talent, that passion, that drive, it was locked away. These people that just amazed me My superiors weren't living out what they were created to do. There was fear. There was things keeping them from being the person, from becoming the pharmacist that they themselves knew they could be. I'm committed to helping you with what really works by calling out the real crap we all face and focusing on what we can control so that we can be the change we wish to see in pharmacy, so that you can lead by example, so that you can script your dream career by creating a personal brand, which is really your character in how you choose to show up every single day. That's not saying be perfect. That's not saying you can't make mistakes. It's saying set the intention by using the skills from those that are preaching what they practice. With everything in pharmacy, there is always something wrong, but there is always something right too. So I want to counter the crap you're hearing, the naysaying. I'm not saying ignore the problems. We got to face those, and that requires innovation, and that requires you at your best. And I'm going to ask you this question right now, and I want you to really think about it. Have you ever in your pharmacy career looked in the mirror and thought to yourself, wow, I thought I'd be farther ahead by now? If you have, you're not alone. Every pharmacist wants a fulfilling career that makes use of their hard-earned PharmD, but unfortunately, that's not the norm that you see and hear about out in our profession. Burnout, no work-life balance, stress and anxiety crippling your personal life, and feeling financially bound and handcuffed to an unfulfilling job just to pay the bills is not what you signed up for in pharmacy school. We know that there are great opportunities in our profession, but with so much rising competition in a saturated job market and no guarantees that the grass is in fact greener on the other side, most pharmacists make the choice to stay stuck, knowing that something better is out there because they see it. They see pharmacists that are loving what they do. They're growing and sharing and creating impact and legacy, but they get trapped feeling that that's not for them, that there's something wrong, that they're broken. You ain't broken. There's nothing wrong with you. The problem that so many pharmacists face, that we get tripped up on, if you want to know the real trap that pharmacists face, we get in our way of making the change we know we need to make and become our own worst enemy. Staying stuck is not what you deserve. You must live a life worthy of the calling you have received because you are worth it. As the Fit Pharmacist, I got fed up with seeing, meeting, and hearing from pharmacists who stay stuck, so I decided to do something about it. I decided to host and create a live one-day workshop to give pharmacists just like you the exact process you need to bridge the gap from where you are to where you're looking to go. It's very simple. To attend this event, simply register today at thefitpharmacist.com/workshop. Then you show up. Then you take part in the biggest breakthrough experience of the year. Sign up at thefitpharmacist.com/workshop right now, because these spots are limited. Go to thefitpharmacist.com/workshop. Sign up right now. If you do, you will learn the tools and capabilities you need to flip your script from resenting your job into having the career that you went to pharmacy school for in the first place. Do not let another day go by feeling like you know you were meant for more, but not sure where to begin. This is where. I want you to live your best life. I want you to dispense your full potential and be able to lay your head on your pillow at night knowing that you are truly living a life worthy of the calling you have received. That's what this one-day workshop is going to help you discover. I don't think there's any better way to overcome the giver's trap or any of the other traps pharmacists face, because you'll be showing up as your best self. This event was created for you. Sign up right now at thefitpharmacist.com/workshop. Your best self awaits. Blessings, my friends.
I see my victory so clear. I see my victory so clear. And today, we break through. And today, we break through. And today, we break through. And today,